It's softball time in Youngstown. Trevor Parks, Brandon Ross bringing you game one, Youngstown State, Cleveland State here at the YSU softball complex. Vikings come into today's game. Overall mark of 17-13, 2-4 in the HL. That's the Horizon League. Youngstown State 11-18 overall, 4-4 in the Horizon League. Penguins coming off a 3-game sweep at Wright State in the loss column. Started league play 4-1, swept Detroit in a 3-gamer here at the YSU softball complex before splitting a doubleheader against Oakland. High-scoring doubleheader in Game 2. Both teams won a game of that doubleheader in their last at-bats, which was 2 weeks ago. So Cleveland State batting order for the Vikings. Doran will bat leadoff. Knight batting second. Woodard hitting third. McNew batting cleanup. Broshek batting fifth. Phillips batting sixth. Jakin playing right field batting seventh. Sidney Morgan hitting eighth. And Hannah Yo batting ninth in center field for the Vikings. Alicia Silva. On the mound for the Gwens today, Kayla Haslett, the senior, 5.53 ERA, 3-7, one-loss record, making her 11th start on the campaign. 24 walks, 37 strikeouts. Hazlett's first pitch. Upstairs, ball one to Nina Doran. Doran, 398 batting average. Started every game so far this season for the Vikes. 43 hits, second most on the team. Pitch from Hazlett hit to center field, drifting back, and that ball is gone. So Doran, a second pitch of the ball game, blasts her 10th home run of the season. So Nina Doran puts the Vikings on the board quickly with a leadoff home run here in the top of the first. Vikes out to a quick 1-0 lead. Next up, Susan Knight, the pitcher for the Vikings. 339 batting average, 21 hits on the year for the junior. 1 home run, 2 triples, 2 doubles, as it's offering outside ball one. Wind is blowing out the dead center, so that swing and crush by Doran. Originally, Macy for YSU in center started in, had to break back on the ball, and was over her head and the fence for a leadoff home run. As it comes set, wheels and deals upstairs. Count goes to 2-1. 2-1 pitch, grounder to short, 2-hopper to Smolcom. She'll throw over to first base, and Thompson Cappadocio, playing first base for the Gwens today, will record out number 1. So the third batter in the order for Cleveland State, Cynthia Woodard, a senior, also a home run threat, 14 bombs this season. First pitch swinging, she gets it up in the air, but it's going to fall in between right center as Mikovic and Macy unable to track that one down. And a 1-out double for Woodard. Her 10th on the season. Brings up Erica McNew, right-handed hitting catcher, a junior, batting .447. She started every game for Cleveland State this year. 34 hits. Another home run threat with 9 dingers this campaign. Woodard and McNew tied for the team lead with 31 RBIs apiece. 1-0 pitch from Haslett called strike. Haslett, the righty, comes, sets, fires upstairs. Count goes to 2-1. Haslett throws low ball, chopped down to third. Castiglione up over to Thompson Cappadocio for the out. And on the play, Woodard hustles up to third base. So 2 outs now for Cleveland State in the inning. I'll bring up Allison Broszak. Broszak, a junior, right-handed DP today for Cleveland State. 282 batting average, 20 hits, 3 home runs, 3 doubles. So Hazlitt trying to limit the damage here in the first inning to just the leadoff home run by Doran. Fouled off there by Broszak. Just trying to minimize the damage here. Cloudy day now in Youngstown. It was a beautiful sunny morning here. A pitch and a comebacker right to Kayla Hazlitt, so she will be able to retire the side and just allow the 1 run to the Vikings in the top of the first on the leadoff home run by Nina Doran. Let's run down your Youngstown State batting order. Batting leadoff and in left field, number 14, Sarah Dowd. Hitting second and playing second base, number 2, Brittany Moffitt. Batting third and playing third base, Penguins' best all-around player, Miranda Castiglione. Batting cleanup and in right field, number 4, Kaylee Mikovic. Hitting fifth, your pitcher, number 24, Kayla Hazlitt. At first base and batting seventh is Kelly Thompson Cappadocio. Or batting sixth, excuse me. Batting seventh, the designated player, Alexandra Gibson, number 21. Hitting eighth, the shortstop, number 5, Katie Smolcomb, daughter of YSU associate head baseball coach Kevin Smolcomb. I couldn't remember Smalley's first name there because nobody ever calls him Kevin. And batting ninth, the catcher, Maria Lacatena. In center field, Jordan Macy, number 10 for the Penguins. On the mound for Cleveland State, Susan Knight saw her at the plate in the top of the first inning. Susan, 2.53 ERA, 8-5 record on the campaign. She'll be making her 15th start. Has 4 complete games, has 77 1/3 innings pitched, allowed 28 earned runs. Good strikeout to walk ratio, 48 strikeouts on the campaign to just 16 walks. So Penguins face a 1-0 deficit as we head to the home half of the first inning. And leading off will be Sarah Dowd. Dowd moving up in the lineup. Batting .286. She's starting her 30th game of the season. 24 hits for the Penguins, 3 doubles, a team high, 6 home runs. So first pitch to Dowd, outside, ball 1. Last homestand, Dowd crushed a home run up into the parking lot behind McDonald's, the left center here at the complex. So wind favorable for another deep fly today. Swung on a miss there by Dowd. Count even up at 1-1. So Knight, the right-hander, where's number 11? Rocks and fires. Swung on and missed. Sarah Dowd down in the count 0-1-2. Dowd, a sophomore. Young lineup for the Penguins. She's from Pottstown, Pennsylvania. She steps in the box. She's ready to go. Pitch by Knight. Just misses outside. Evens the count at 2 apiece. So I talked about the young lineup there. The Penguins with just one senior, and that is today's starting pitcher, Kayla Hazlitt. Dowd swings and gets a piece of that 2-2 offering from Knight. Stays alive. Team high 24 runs scored this year for Sarah Dowd. Tied for the team lead with Castiglione and Mikovic with 18 RBIs. Dowd's 2-2, grounds it to second, bobbled at second base by Phillips, and Dowd hustles down to first. She'll beat that out on the error by Phillips, a fielding error. Next up, the Penguins' second baseman, number 2, Brittany Moffitt. Moffitt batting .289, starting her 30th game of the campaign. 24 hits for Moffitt, 3 doubles. So first pitch called strike from Knight. Penguins have been aggressive on the base pass this season. Dowd 10 for 11 in stolen base opportunities this year for YSU. Moffitt squares to bunt, pulls back apparently, so count goes to 1-1. They will appeal to second. They say no swing. Penguins as a team, 55 steals, only been caught 9 times. So quick appeal down to second. Cleveland State's coach Becky Norris out to double check the call, but they said that she did not offer at the 0-1 pitch. So count 1-1. Moffitt cut on and a little dribbler to third. High throw over from third baseman Doran, but Yo stays on the bag, so Moffitt is retired, but she does advance Dowd over to second base. So with one out, Penguins have a runner in scoring position. That will bring up Miranda Castiglione. Castiglione, the best Penguins player on the roster, arguably. 341 batting average, team high. Played in all 30 games, 19 runs, team high 29 hits, 5 doubles, team best 2 triples, 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in. So RBI opportunity here for Castiglione. Pitch from Knight is outside. Our scoreboard, which has a knack for being ornery every now and then, is in and out with the count. So count is 2-0 now to Castiglione. Knight fires 2-0 outside. Throw back down to second. Outside 3-0. Knight doesn't want to give Castiglione too much here, and she will work a 4-pitch walk. So maybe pitching around Miranda in that sequence. We'll bring up Callie Mikovic. Mikovic, just a freshman, batting in the cleanup spot for YSU. 267 batting average. Has 19 runs scored, 24 hits on the campaign, 4 doubles, 3 triples, 5 home runs. Got off to a great start to the campaign. I will say this about Mikovic. She's not very tall, but she can get after the softball when she needs to. A quick meeting at the mound between McNew and Knight after 5 straight balls have been thrown by Knight. So maybe go out and try to settle her down. But Penguins with 2 on and just 1 out. Gets the corner there, called strike 1. So count goes to 1-1. Little change up there, outside ball 2. And then we have 3-2 on the scoreboard. I don't think that's right. Outside strike 2. 2-2 is the count. To Mikovic, the Penguins' right fielder. She'll take a look at that pitch just outside. So count goes full. So see what Coach Campbell does here. Decent contact batter at the plate in Mikovic, but definitely prone to the strikeout with 30 on the season as well. So runners hold Mikovic with a little nubber up to first baseline. It will just roll foul. So runners did not go there. Mikovic with a team high 30 strikeouts on the year. So now we've got a sunspot up there in the clouds, some nice blue sky peeking in and out. The 3-2 pitch, Mikovic lines it back up the box into center field for a base hit. Coming around and scoring will be Sarah Dowd ahead of the throw by center fielder Silva, which is cut off. So Penguins answer the Vikings run in the bottom of the first, and they are still making some noise with runners at first and second, and just the one out. So Hazlitt steps in with a chance to help herself out. The Penguins pitcher, just 138 batting average, 8 hits and 58 at-bats on the campaign. She does have 2 home runs. So a little bit of pop in that bat when she can connect. She takes the first pitch called strike from Knight. Hazlitt, the lone senior, she's from Baden, Pennsylvania, went to Ambridge High School, hometown of Gunther Laddick. Big Penguins fan. She'll square around a bunt, and it'll go foul off of third base. Saw Gunther this morning over at football. Good to see him as Pittsburgh Penguins are collapsing slowly but surely. We'll see how that goes today for a lot of Pittsburgh Penguin fans here in the Youngstown area. 0-2 pitch from Knight to Hazlitt. Hazlitt will take it. Called, third strike. Ringer up, strike 3. So Hazlitt is the retired second out of the inning. And bring up Kelly Thompson Cappadocio. Cappadocio, just her 16th start for the Gwens this year. 12 hits and 50 at-bats, so a .240 batting average. The left-handed hitting Thompson Cappadocio takes the first pitch from Knight outside, ball 1. 2 outs. Penguins with runners at first and second. Down at second, Castiglione. At first, Kelly Mikovic. Gwens have knotted things up here, 1 apiece in the bottom of the first inning. Pitch from Knight. Outside, ball 2. Game 1 of this 3-game set. Knight's pitch, changeup, and called strike 1. So count now 2-1. Knight's delivery missing off the plate. 3-1 count in favor of Thompson Cappadocio. Knight's pitch, good hack there by Thompson Cappadocio. Fouled off to the left side for strike 2. So full count, runners will be on the go. Gapper may get 2 in for the Gwens here. So Thompson Cappadocio takes it outside, ball 4. So second walk of the inning for Knight will load the bases up for the Gwens as Alexandra Gibson, making just her 6th start of the season. Coach Campbell inserting the sophomore into the lineup, number 21, the designated player. She's got 8 hits and 21 at-bats, so a nice .381 batting average. Pair of doubles on the campaign, 4 RBIs. Big RBI spot here for Gibson, a sophomore from Fremont, California. She takes the first pitch called strike 1. Gibson takes the 0-1 offering just outside, even the count 1-1. No home runs for Gibson, but if there's a day for it, be a good day. Although right now the wind is blowing out to right. Started the top of the first, blowing out to dead center. So righty against righty confrontation, takes the pitch down low. 2-1 in the dirt. Snack break here in the network booth. So the director needs a little sugar rush. 2-1 pitch. Inside 3-1. Gets away from the catcher. Sprinting home and scoring the go-ahead run is Castiglione. So Castiglione puts the Penguins on top 2-1 with some heads-up base running. And behind her, Mikovic runs up to third. Thompson Cappadocio moves up to second. So Gibson ahead 3-1 in the count. Another prime opportunity here to drive in a couple runs for the Penguins. Takes a 3-1 offering, just gets a piece of that foul ball, strike 2. So Penguins fell behind after a solo leadoff home run by Nina Doran in the top of the first. Come back with 2 manufactured runs here in the bottom of the first. Dowd reached on an error. Came around on a RBI single by Mikovic, and Castiglione comes home on a pass ball. So that'll be strike 3 on Gibson. Nice pitch there by Knight. She paints the outside corner, but the Penguins take the lead here at the YSU softball complex. After 1 complete, it's Youngstown State 2, Cleveland State 1. Back here in the top of the second inning, Youngstown State, Cleveland State softball. Batting here in the second for the Vikings, Caitlin Phillips, Mackenzie Jokin, and Sydney Morgan. So second baseman Caitlin Phillips, left-handed hitter, steps in against Penguins' Kayla Haslett. She takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. Phillips, 322 on the campaign. She's also started every contest for the Vikes. 28 hits, 5 doubles, and a triple. 1-0 pitch from Haslett. Outside, 2-0. So pitch is called for strike 1. Two-one pitch from Haslett, outside, 3-1. 3-1 offering from Kayla Haslett, called strike on the corner, 3-2. Pitch is outside, ball 4. So Phillips with a leadoff walk here in the top of the second inning. Brings up Mackenzie Jakin. Mackenzie's a freshman batting .341, making her 15th start on the season. 15 hits and 44 at-bats, 5 doubles and 4 home runs. She squares around a bunt. She fouls it back, strike 1. So while Youngstown State has been aggressive on the base pass, Cleveland State not so much, just 18 stolen bases in 27 attempts this year. Of course, the Vikes, looks like they've been jacking some long balls. 42 dingers this season. Pitch inside, down goes the runner, and she's going to get thrown out at second. So Jakin trying to surprise the Penguins with her Phillips trying to surprise the Penguins. She was 2 for 2 on the year in stolen base attempts, cut down at second base for out number 1. So Jakin's up 1-1 count. We've got a little discussion at the mound as Coach Campbell comes out. I think Katie Smolcomb did a good job blocking second on that play to retire Phillips, but maybe caught a spike. So Coach Campbell comes out and gives his shortstop a moment to catch her breath. Good to see an appearance by Kevin Davis out in our center field camera area. Kev's got the big red shirt on today. 1-1 pitch from Haslett, strike 2. Nice pitch from the senior right-hander from Baden, Pennsylvania. I think I see Kyle 2K Kronovich on graphics behind home plate there. 1-2 offering down low. So it's a group effort here today at the YSU softball complex. So 2-2 pitch to Jaden down low. Full count now. So good job by the Viking right fielder to work a full count after being down in the count 1-2. So 3-2 pitch from Hazlett inside ball 4. So 3 straight balls. And for the second time this inning, a Cleveland State's batter has reached via a walk. So stepping in is Viking left fielder Sydney Morgan. Sydney 108 average, making her 17th start, just 5 hits and 37 at bat. She's first pitch swinging, chops it foul outside of third base. Half of her hits are for extra bases, though. 1 double, 1 home run this season for the sophomore from Fishers, Indiana. Hazlett wheels and deals a riser upstairs, ball 1. So Vikings with another runner on first base. Hazlett's pitch slapped, fouled, this time outside of first base, foul. So ahead in the count is Hazlett on Sydney Morgan, 1-2. One-two pitch from it has a chopper to short. Smallcombe just going to go to first to retire Morgan. So good play by Smallcombe. Did not have a chance for the double play. So takes the second out of the inning at first base while throwing Morgan out. So brings up number 9 batter for the Vikes. First baseman number 21, Hannah Yo. Yo, a senior, batting .213. Starting her 30th game of the campaign. 16 hits and 75 at bats. 3 doubles, triple, and a home run, 8 RBIs. But a runner in scoring position as Jakin is down there at second. Yo steps in. First pitch swinging, lines 1 foul down left field. Dimensions here, 200 all the way around the ballpark. Located just to the west of Youngstown State Stambaugh Stadium. Just to the north of us is the YSU Soccer Complex, also known as Farmers National Bank Field. The YSU soccer team taking on Walsh in a little spring fling exhibition today. 0-1 pitch from Hazlett outside. Count is now even 1-1. So Hazlett deals. Swung on and popped up on the infield, trotting out and camping under it is Brittany Moffitt. She'll squeeze it for the 3rd out of the inning. So Hazlett works around a pair of walks, but no damage is done. We head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Youngstown State 2, Cleveland State 1. We head to the bottom of the second here at Youngstown State University. Penguins 2, Vikings 1. Due up for YSU will be Katie Smolcombe, Maria Lacatena, then Sarah Dowd. Defensive change, tell you about for the Vikings. Not sure why, but at second base, number 9, Emma Nicholas, is on to replace Caitlin Phillips. Phillips reached on a walk and then tried to steal second, and she and Katie Smolcombe had a little collision there at second base. Smolcombe had to get checked out by head coach Brian Campbell, and Phillips got knocked out of the game. So hopefully she can come back and play game number 2 later today, which will take place approximately 3:15ish. See how this game shakes out. So, first offering from Knight called strike 1. We got a big party going on in here. We got Lincoln Making Moves Williams joining us. Good to have him. The 0-1 pitch outside, ball 1. Smolcombe on the season, .235 batting average, making her 27th start. She's got 16 hits in 68 at-bats. 1 extra base hit, a double. Smolcombe swings and fouls the looked like she fouled the pitch off her foot, but it will be a fair ball. McNew will throw down a yo at first. So a little chopper in front of home plate. And Smolcombe is retired for the first out of the inning. So Maria Lacatena steps in, the Penguins 9-hitter. And catcher, just a sophomore, .254 batting average, 17 hits and 67 at-bats. 3 doubles, 3 dingers on the campaign for the Gwens. So first pitch from Knight called strike 1. Knight rocks and fires down low. Count even now at 1-1. Knight's pitch swung on and grounded to short. Backhanded play by Woodard, and she will not get the runner. So Lacatena legs out an infield base hit. Nice backhanded play by Woodard. Looked like the ball was going to creep through the left side. Was able to backhand it, throw off balance, and just missed getting Lacatena on the play. So 1-out single for Lacatena will bring up Sarah Dowd. Dowd reached on an error by Caitlin Phillips back in the first. First pitch, wild bouncer, gets away, rolls out in front of the Cleveland State dugout, and Lacatena scoots up to second base. So a little bit of wildness for Knight today. 2 walks back in the first. Coming into the season, she had only walked 16 while striking out 48. That's even ratio today, 2-2, but uncharacteristic to have a little bit of wildness. Also had a pass ball back in the first and swung on it, a deep drive into left field, and that's gone. Sarah Dowd with a 2-run Jimmy Jack puts the Penguins on top 4-1. Dowd's 7th home run of the season. There was no doubt about that. She turned on that offering from Knight. And just like that, YSU with a 3-run cushion. So Dowd, RBIs, 19 and 20 on the year. Now the team leader in that category. Bring up Brittany Moffitt. Moffitt grounded out to third back in the first. She'll take the pitch inside, ball 1. So Knight probably just trying to get a ball over. You don't want to do that against Dowd. She's got a little power in that bat. She whipped that sucker down, and that was a 2-run bomb for the Gwens. So just 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Penguins with 2 in the first and 2 in the second now. Building a 4-1 lead on Cleveland State. McNew is going to go out and talk to Knight and try to get her back in good graces here after 2 balls to Moffitt. 2-0 pitch. Catches the corner, strike one. Moffitt, 3 extra base hits this season. Squares around and bunts it up the third base line. Third baseman decides to play it. Bad decision as Doran tried to throw out the hustling Moffitt down first base, but she was unable to, and Moffitt scoots in with a base hit. So heady play by Moffitt. Maybe not the best move by Doran. It looked like the ball would have eventually rolled foul. Decided to make a play, and instead Moffitt hustled up the line to beat it out for an infield single. So Castiglione steps in. She walked and scored back in the first. First pitch swinging off the second baseman, Nicholas, and it rolls right over to Woodard at second base. So fortunate hop for the Vikes as Moffitt is retired at second there. Right place, right time for Woodard. Steps on the bag with the force out. So hard hit ball by Castiglione does not get rewarded for the effort. And that'll bring up Mikovic. Singled, an RBI single back in the first. Runners going, Moffitt. Or Castiglione, no doubt about it. She was off and running easily. Already set the YSU record this year for stolen bases in a season with 17. That was her 18th on the campaign. 18 for 19 now for the junior from Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Swinging back up the middle. Nice diving play by Nicholas. Throws to first. Non-time play comes home, and Castiglione slides in ahead of the tag. So Castiglione was on the go. For a second there, it looked like Nicholas was going to save a run with her diving spear. Got him, tried to throw out Mikovic at first. Unable to get the runner, and not breaking stride all the way around from second was Castiglione. So we saw a similar type play. It pulled out a win against Oakland in the bottom of the seventh. Grounder that time was a short. Shortstop threw the ball to first. Castiglione did not stop. Beat the throw home from the first baseman. That was the game winner in a 2-1 YSU walk-off victory. So second to last home game here at the YSU softball complex. So Hazlett now with a big cushion, a 5-1 lead, steps in. YSU with already 3 runs in this inning. Bengals with 3 singles and Dowd's home run in this inning. So Knight's pitch inside gets away from McNew. And Mikovic will head down to second base. So another wild pitch for Knight. Entered the year with just 2 wild pitches on the season. High and outside, so definitely does not have her A game going so far today. You can tell the body language from her is just not quite right. She can't find the zone at times, and Penguins have taken advantage of some balls that have gotten away from the catcher. That time McNew set up outside ball, came back inside, but called strike for a full count now. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. YSU on top 5-1 over Cleveland State. Hazlett struck out back in the first. This time swings the ball, dribbles the ball up to the first baseman, Yo, who's standing right there, steps on the bag and retires the Penguins in the second inning. But the Gwens strike for 3. And after a full 2 here at the YSU softball complex, it's Youngstown State 5, Cleveland State 1. Back here at YSU, top of the third inning for Cleveland State. Doran, Knight, and Woodard will step in. Nina Doran, the number 66, Nina Doran. Home run number 10 for her back in the top of the first. Steps in now, but the Penguins struck for 5 since that time. They're on top, 5-1 here in the top of the third. First pitch, down low, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch upstairs, 2-0. So 10 home runs now. Doran with that hit ties Woodard, or still one behind Woodard for the team lead. Woodard doubled back in the first inning. So 3-0 count. Gwen's maybe being cautious here with a 4-run lead. And Doran crushed one last time, but Cleveland State's got a lot of batters that can hit one out of the ballpark. That pitch just low. So 4-pitch walk issued to lead off the third. Second time in 3 innings that Hazlitt has issued a leadoff walk. Phillips led off the second inning on a walk. Actually, it's Hazlitt's third walk in the last 2 innings, last 5 batters actually. So settles in and throws a first pitch strike to her counterpart, Susan Knight, the Vikes pitcher. As it fires, and Knight cues one foul outside of first. Thompson Cappadocio unable to track her down for strike 2. So has it quickly heading to count 0-2 on Susan Knight. O2 offering. Swung on and lined in the right. It's going to get down for a base hit in front of Mikovic. Going to third and able to hold up there is Doran. So Vikings with a little something going here in the top of the third after an 0-2 base knock there for Susan Knight. Just went the other way and landed the ball right in front of Callie Mikovic in right field. So Woodard will step in. Vikes team leader with 45 hits. She's hitting probably about 460 now. 14 home runs. So big threat up at the plate for Cleveland State. Kayla Hazlitt going to need to buckle down here to work out of a tough jam. So first pitch swinging, and it's drilled into left center, and Kayla Hazlitt didn't even turn around. She knew that ball was crushed. And for the 15th time this year, Cynthia Woodard has a long ball. So just like that, a 5-1 lead is now 5-4 as Woodard will come around and step on home plate and be greeted by her teammates. So there was no doubt about that one. Like I said, Hazlitt didn't even turn around. She knew it was gone as soon as it left the bat. And just like that, it's 5-4. Kind of expected a high-scoring one today. I mean, the wind's blowing out. Both teams putting a lot of runs up. Cleveland State likes the long ball. Gwen's like to steal some bases. So far from over here at the YSU softball complex. So Hazlitt will try to regroup. Now she's got to face McNew. McNew grounded out back in the first, but she also has 9 home runs on the campaign. So comebacker right up the middle, so base knock for Erica McNew. So the Vikings the second time around have a walk, a base hit, a home run, and a base hit off of Hazlitt. So whatever adjustments they've made, they've done a good job. You have a runner at first base for Cleveland State. Looks like number 5, Darian Ward, will run for McNew. It's the thing about softball, you're allowed a pinch runner at one point during the game and can re-enter. Has it wheels and deals now to Broshak, called strike 1. So lays down a perfect bunt as Broshak, the catcher, is out to get it. And then a throw over to third, and they're going to get her. Hazlitt heads up play to cover third base on the sac bunt attempt. So on the pitch, the runner, Ward, was off. And very alertly, Moffitt, who was covering second on the bunt, threw over to Hazlitt, who was in the third base area, and was able to tag out the base runner at third base. So big double play there for YSU here in the third as the Penguins cling to a 5-4 lead now. So lace to left field is Caitlin Phillips. So Phillips, who did not play second, stays in the lineup there and laces a base hit to left. The fourth hit of the inning for the Vikes, fifth base runner that they've had this inning. But 2 outs now, and Mackenzie Jakin steps in. Jakin walked back into second. Swings at that one, fouled just outside of third. Vikings 4 runs on 6 hits. They've committed 1 error. Penguins 5 runs on 5 hits, and we're just in the top of the third. Hazlitt fires inside. Count even now at 1-1. Caitlin Phillips down at first. Started the game playing second, but a little dribbler up to second. Moffitt going to underhand toss to Thompson Cappadocio, and the side is retired, but Cleveland State strikes for 3. Entering the third inning, they were down 5-1 after their at-bat in the top of the frame. It's now 5-4. Youngstown State will head to the bottom of the third here at the YSU Softball Complex. We go to the bottom of the third inning here. Youngstown State 5, Cleveland State 4. We got a slugfest going. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Windy day here in Youngstown. Ball soaring out of the ballpark. We've had a couple home runs. Actually, 3 home runs so far. 2 for Cleveland State, 1 for Youngstown State. The big boppers in the lineup for each team have gone yard. So Katie Thompson Cappadocio in now for YSU, or Kelly Thompson Cappadocio, excuse me. Takes the first 2 offerings from Susan Knight high. So despite her control struggles, Knight finds her team back in the ballgame, trailing by 1 run here in the bottom of the third. Good hack there by Thompson Cappadocio, fouled off. Strikes the screen and comes back into play. Penguins in the third base dugout. Vikes down in the first base dugout. When the sun's out, it's nice. When the clouds creep in, it gets a little chilly out there. But the wind has been steady since we started, about 12 to 15 miles blowing at the dead center. Thompson Cappadocio, chopper to second. Ouch, right in the face. So rough hop there for Darren Ward. Ward came on as a pinch runner. It's the third different second baseman for Cleveland State in 3 innings. Don't often see that, but Ward put herself right in front of that, and she got a rough hop and give Thompson Cappadocio a base hit. You don't want to get, Ward got in front of it. You can't get much more in front of it than that when the ball hits you right in the teeth. So she's getting looked at by the Cleveland State support staff. See if she can stay in the ball game. Hopefully all her choppers are intact. Doesn't look like she's in any pain. To give her credit for that. She's just kind of standing there as the rest of the infield kind of has a powwow there at the mound. So looking at her face still. But yeah, rough hop there. I've seen a couple of those out here in the last couple of days. Infield doesn't get a lot of water. And especially in the second base shortstop area, it can be a little tricky. So I talked to Matt Rollins about that, and just got to rely on Mother Nature for a little while longer. Had some rain here in the Youngstown area this week, but the tarp was on the field, so none the worse for wear. Alicia Silva, Jr. from LaGrange, Ohio, Keystone High, will stay in the contest. That'll bring up Alex Gibson. Gibson struck out back in the first inning. Runners at second and third to end the rally. Just her third strikeout of the year. Gibson first pitch swinging this time. She comes in hacking, fouls it back to the screen, strike one. So runner at first in Thompson Cappadocio. Alex Gibson in for the Gwens, who lead 5-4. Knight wheels and deals. Swung on and a chopper to short by Gibson. Backhanded by Woodard. She throws high to first, and Gibson's safe. On the play, Thompson Cappadocio alertly moves up to third base. So see how they score Gibson if they give her a base hit. Definitely an error on the advancement by Thompson Cappadocio. So Penguins first and third here. Nobody out in the bottom of the third, looking to add to their 5-run total. So base hit for Gibson to short. And Thompson Cappadocio moves up to third on the error. High throw by Woodard, glance off the top of the glove of Yo at first. So Smallcomb steps in. She grounded out to the catcher back in the second inning. We've got Coach Campbell talking to the umpire, and Cleveland State coach is out to talk to the first baseman. YSU will use a substitute runner. Number 22, Hannah Lucas, freshman from Pickerington, Ohio, will run for Gibson. So see what Smallcomb does here. 235 hitter coming into game one this afternoon. So Smallcomb steps in against Knight. She takes the first pitch, called strike one. Gwen's at first and third. Nobody out. Trying to answer Cleveland State's 3 here in the top of the third with a couple runs here in the bottom half of the third inning. Pitch by Knight. Catches the outside corner, called strike two. So Smallcomb quickly down in the count 0-2 to Knight, who's had a few control problems so far today. So keep the runners alert for YSU. Something in the dirt. Knight rocks and fires down low. Smallcomb stays alive and fouls it off. Penguins lead 5-4 here in the bottom of the third inning. Katie Smallcombe in. Pitch from Knight. High chopper, or high pitch, and throw will come home from Woodard. Woodard will cut down Thompson Cappadocio. So Smallcombe swinging at the high pitch. Woodard decided to go home. Pretty good arm as we've seen so far today. And throws out Thompson Cappadocio at the plate with the first out of the inning. So Hannah Lucas stands at second, and Katie Smallcombe on the fielder's choice will be at first with one out. Brings up Maria Lacatena. Penguins catcher singled and scored back in the second inning. So big out there for the Vikes. Retired the lead runner at the plate. The first pitch offering fouled off the screen on the right side for strike one. So Lacatena, starting her 30th game of the year, came in with a .254 batting average. Now has 11 runs scored on the season. Gwen's at first and second. Here the pitch from Knight. Chopper right back to the mound. Knight's going to try to turn two. She'll throw to Woodard at second. Nice play by Woodard to throw over to Yo and get the 1-6-3 double play to retire the side. So Cleveland State works out a bit of a pickle there in the third. And after 3 full innings here at YSU, it's Cleveland State 4, Youngstown State 5. I butchered that. Your shortstops. Hello? 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 And a pitching change here for Youngstown State in the top of the fourth inning. Caitlin Minnie comes on to relieve Kayla Hazlitt. Minnie comes in with a 4-7 record, 23 appearances. This will be her 24th and 15th in relief this season. She pitched a team high 84 in the third innings, surrendered 57 earned runs, has 67 strikeouts, and walked 48. So first pitch from Minnie. The outside, ball one. Up for the Vikes, Sydney Morgan. Morgan grounded out back in the second inning. Dribbler up the first base line, and that is not Morgan. That is Nicholas. So Nicholas with the dribbler up the first base line for a base hit. And for the fourth time today, Cleveland State has their leadoff runner on base. So Hannah Yo, first baseman, will step in, squares around, bunts, and third baseman Castiglione picks it up. She'll fire over to Moffitt covering first. So good job by Castiglione to take charge on the bunt there as Thompson Cappadocio came in to make a play on the ball. She called her off and threw out Yo down at first base. So Vikes get the job done on the sack bunt. So nice job by Yo. Advances Nicholas up to second. So one out now brings up Nina Doran. Doran has walked and homered today, number 66, the Vikings' third baseman. And that ball gets away from Lacatena. And Nicholas will scoot over to third base. So sack bunt moved up Nicholas up to second, and she moves over to third on a wild pitch. Dorn ahead in the count quickly, 2-0. A mini pitch outside, ball 3. So since her home run in the first inning, Nina Dorn has seen 7 pitches. All of them have been outside of the strike zone. Pitch from Minnie. She tries to go inside, and she catches the corner, strike 1. So pitch, Dorn lifts one into center. This will stay in the ballpark. Caught by Lucas in center field. Good throw home, but ahead of the throw is Anna Lucas, or is Nicholas. So Vikes tie it up. 5-all here in the top of the 4th on the sacrifice fly by Nina Dorn. That scored Emma Nicholas. So Susan Knight will step in now. Keeps her hands back on the changeup, but fouls it off to the screen. So Knight, who settled down and put up a goose egg there in the bottom of the 3rd after allowing the first 2 runners to reach, now is in a 5-5 game. She can help herself out here. She takes the pitch from Minnie down low, ball 1. Minnie wheels and deals, pitch inside, ball 2. Cleveland State struck for 1 in the first. YSU picked up 2 in the second, 3 more in the second. And then Cleveland State answered with 3 in the top of the 3rd. And the Vikes have tied the game with a run here in the top of the 4th. 3-1 pitch from Minnie, swung on a chopper by Knight, picked up by Castiglione. She'll throw over to Thompson Cappadocio to retire the Vikes. But the Vikings do get another run. And after 3.5 here at the YSU softball complex, we are deadlocked at 5 apiece. We head to the home half of the 4th. Maybe the top of the batting order for the Gwens: Dowd, Moffitt, and Castiglione. YSU tries to break a 5-all tie here at the YSU softball complex. Horizon League softball, Cleveland State 2-4 in the league, Penguins 4-4. So both teams looking to make moves up the conference standings this weekend. 3-game series out here. Games 1 and 2 today. Series finale tomorrow, I think at noon. Maybe 1 o'clock. So Dowd, first pitch swinging, and she's on base again. So didn't wait there. She is attacking that first pitch with a vengeance. She's now 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. She homered back in the second on the first pitch, and that time jumped all over a Susan Knight offering there for a base knock. So Moffitt steps in. She's 1 for 2. A base hit back in second. chopper back up the mound. Knight going to go to Woodard at second again for the force. This time, no, Moffitt beats the throw from Woodard at first base, and Vikings record the first out of the inning. So Castiglione steps in, officially 0 for 1, but 2 runs scored today. Walked and scored back in the first, reached on a fielder's choice, stole second, came home on an infield single by Mikovic back in the third. So first pitch swinger for her. Knight fires to Woodard at second for 1. This time they will turn the 1-6-3 double play. So for the second consecutive inning, Cleveland State turns a 1-6-3 double play to get out of it. Just like that, through 4, we are tied at 5. We head to the top of the 5th. Youngstown State 5, Cleveland State 5. Horizon League softball back here at Youngstown State University. Lovely day in the Mahoning Valley for softball. So shortstop, Cynthia Woodard steps in for the Vikes. Woodard homered back in the third, and no doubt shot to left field. 3-run shot that closed the gap from 5-1 to 5-4. She doubled back in the first halfway to the cycle. Is Cynthia swings at one at her eyes, fouls it up off the chain link fence behind home plate, and count evens at 1-1. One pitch from Minnie, line to left to the base of the wall. Big turn, and she's going to try for her second double of the game, and she will get in there. So Woodard was 2 for 2 against Kayla Hazlitt. She greets Minnie there with a double in the 5th. So 3 for 3 day for Cynthia Woodard, 2 doubles and a 3-run home run. So it looks like they will run for Woodard at second, I do believe. Correction, Erica McNew will re-enter the game and bat for the Vikings. That last half inning, number 9, Emma Nichols played catcher for Cleveland State. But McNew back in. First pitch from Minnie just misses outside, ball 1. McNew 1 for 2 with a single. She takes that pitch on the corner, called strike, evens the count at 1-1. Vikings 5 runs on 8 hits. Pair of errors. Penguins with 5 runs on 8 hits, no errors. Minnie fires a riser. Good snag by Lacatena. But upstairs for a ball. 2-1 is the count. To the right-hander, McNew. Minnie fires outside. So 3-1. Erica McNew way ahead of the count here. McNew with 9 home runs on the season for Cleveland State. For her pitch here, takes that pitch just outside. So Vikings have had the leadoff runner on base in all 5 innings. Have had the first 2 runners reach in 2 of the 5 innings. Correction, 3 of the 5 innings. So Cleveland State doing a good job getting base runners on against the Gwens and making the pitchers work. Brosek squares around and fouls a bunt out of the third base line for strike one. Minnie fires. Swinging this time, Brosick hits one into short left, charging in. The left fielder, she drops the ball, but luckily with the runners holding, she's able to get the force out at third. So Dowd charged hard. The ball hit off the heel of her glove, and luckily it just bounced right down in front of her. And Castiglione was alert to cover the bag. So on the 7-5 put out there, Penguins are able to avoid any extra damage. So stepping in now for Cleveland State will be Caitlin Phillips. Phillips re-entering as well. So Vikings with runners at first and second, one out now here in the top of the fifth. Minnie's first pitch outside, ball one. Second offering to Phillips, called strike in the outside corner, evens the count, one apiece. Pitch by Minnie misses. Count goes to 2-1. Phillips waits the 2-1 pitch called on the outside corner, strike two. There's a pitch outside, full count. Fouled off there, so staying alive is Phillips. So runners at first and second for Cleveland State. Caitlin Minnie fires, and 3-2 offering is fouled off again by Caitlin Phillips. So tough day for our camera people. Nick Popio and Nathan Kuiper need to work on the irises every now and then with the in and out sun. 3-2 pitch, going to be inside for ball four. So Cleveland State loads them up. Second walk of the inning issued by Minnie. And the Gwens find themselves in a bit of trouble here. A 5-5 game, only one out. Brian Campbell going to head out to the mound, chat to his freshman righty. You need to get an out here in the worst kind of way. Just one out here in the fifth. Bases are full of Cleveland State runners as Mackenzie Jakin steps in. Today Jakin has walked and grounded out back in the third. So big opportunity here for Mackenzie. First pitch swinging. She lifts it to right. It's drifting back just in front of the fence, and it's off the glove of the Penguins' right fielder. Two runs are going to come in to score, so deep fly, and Mikovic just in front of the fence had the ball glance off of her glove. And the Vikings are able to plate two on that dropped fly ball. Like the wind has been a problem for the Penguins today. Dowd dropped one in left this inning, and then Dropping one in right center was Mikovic. So Cleveland State takes advantage. They have scored the last 6 after falling behind 5-1. Now leads 7-5. So Minnie trying to get the Gwens out of the inning. First pitch outside, ball 1. Minnie gets a called strike there, evens the count at 1-1 to Emma Nicholas. Rise ball up over the head of Nicholas, who assumed the catching duties last half inning. Just one out here. Vikes have played it 2. They do charge an error to Mikovic in right. And rightly so. Ball was hit there. It kept carrying on her. Looked like she was going to make a play, but it hit off her glove right in front of the wall. And Cleveland State scores the go-ahead run. So 2-2 pitch from Minnie. Tries to get her to fish. And no, and now we've got a rundown between first and second as Smallcombe will walk back Jakin, who had strayed off. Cleveland State had a little play on there, trying to get the Penguins to completely throw down, but heads-up play by Smallcombe just walked her back. Now we got a full count. Still Vikings at first and third. 7-5, Cleveland State leads. Minnie pitch swung on and foul-tipped, hung on by Lacatena. So big strikeout for Minnie, her first of the game. And just the first time Cleveland State has struck out today, but it came at a great time. So trying to avoid any other damage as Hannah Yo steps in. Yo popped out to second and had a sacrifice bunt in her 2 plate appearances so far today. The number 9 hitter in the Cleveland State batting order steps in. Minnie fires. First pitch hacking going to be fouled out of play off the right side. Ball bounces on top of the Cleveland State dugout. So the Vikes with a pair of runs this inning and just one hit. And that runner didn't score. She was thrown out at third. But a walk, fielder's choice, a walk, and then a drop ball in right field. Swung over the top there by Yo. So Minnie quickly ahead 0-2 here. 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Vikes on top 7-5. Minnie rocks and fires upstairs. Rise ball out of the strike zone. Ball 1. Vikes with runners at first and third. Minnie's 1-2 pitch swung on, fouled off of the bare hand and heel of Lacatena. She's going to walk out to Minnie real quick and get her bearings just to catch a blow. So Lacatena and Minnie, a little high five, and Lacatena heads back behind the plate. Feeling that one a little bit, you can tell just by looking at her face. So another 1-2 pitch from Minnie. Slow ball, slapped to the right side, and Thompson Cappadocio unable to make a play. So big game in the standings. With a win, Cleveland State would have moved to 3-4. YSU would fall to 3-5, but a long way to go with the way the wind's blowing out to center. Probably a few runs left in this contest. There's a 1-2 pitch outside. 2-2 is the count. So good at bat for Yo here in the top of the 5th inning. Minnie's pitch and swung on and just foul tipped to stay alive does Yo. Penguins need an out here to limit the damage. Just 2 runs. 2 drop fly balls by outfielders this inning. Minnie's 1-2 pitch. Chopper back to the mound. Minnie will throw over to Thompson Cappadocio at first. to retire Yo and end the inning. But the Vikings strike for a pair of unearned runs here in the 5th. And they now go on top 7-5 as we head to the bottom of the 5th here at the YSU softball complex. And we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Youngstown State now trails Cleveland State 7-5. As you can see, YSU jumped out to a 5-1 lead after 2 innings, but the Vikings have struck for 6 runs in their last 3 at-bats. Take a 7-5 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Meeting with Cleveland State's coach and umpire at the half inning, so the Vikings probably with some changes. Looks like we have another new second baseman. So Jakin has moved from right to second. That's the 4th second baseman we've had in 5 innings for Cleveland State. You don't see that every day. I can't really tell who's playing right field. I think it might be McNew, who started at catcher. And then Nicholas, number 9, is now catching. So a little bit of a patchwork lineup here for Cleveland State. Had somebody get dinged up on a slide. Somebody, Silva took one to the face at second on a wicked hop. So some lineup juggling for Cleveland State. Perhaps some players playing out of position. First pitch called strike 1. So Chopper to second, and just like that, with Jakin coming in, she's unable to get to that ball as it goes through the right side. So a leadoff base hit for Mikovic, and she's 3 for 3 today. So solid day at the plate for Mikovic. Been an adventure at times out in right field for the freshman. Now Kayla Hazlitt steps in. She started pitcher to open the day's game. Was removed in the 4th inning by Caitlin Minnie. Now that becomes a designated player. She squares the bunt. And strike 1. She did go around. So Gwen's trailing 7-5. Decided to lay down a bunt. Move the runner up into scoring position. So Hazlitt takes that pitch down low for ball 1. Hazlitt today has struck out and grounded up the first base line in her 2 plate appearances. 1-1 offering from Knight, who was settled in nicely, called strike 2. So Knight had a rough first 2+ innings. Then thanks to 2 inning-ending double plays in the 3rd and the 4th, has settled down a little bit. But the Penguins with another base runner over at first base is Mikovic outside for ball 2 as Knight tries to get Hazlitt to fish. YSU has had their leadoff runner on in 4 of the 5 innings. 2-2 pitch from Knight. Hazlitt swings over top of it. Her second strikeout of the day. So Knight with 3 strikeouts on the afternoon, and Hazlitt is 2 of those 3. So Thompson Cappadocio steps in. She's 1 for 1 today. Walked back in the first and singled back in the third. Mikovich down at first. Pitch from Knight. First pitch hacking by Thompson Cappadocio. Glances off of Doran's glove at third. And Thompson Cappadocio has her second base hit of the day. So liner just to the left of Doran. Glances off her glove. Rolls into left field. And the Penguins have the tying run at first. Go-ahead run at the plate in number 22, Hannah Lucas. Lucas came on as a pinch hitter for the Gwens. She's batting .260 pinch runner for Gibson. She's batting .265 on the season, has 9 hits and 34 appearances. Slap hitter takes the first pitch low, ball 1 from Knight. So Penguins trying to stay out of a double play again that thwarted their third and fourth innings. Now they got 2 runners on here in the fifth as Knight's pitch is low for ball 2. Knight's 2-0 pitch to Lucas. Outside 3-0. So Nicholas, who will go out and have a chat with her pitcher, try to settle her down a little bit. Just 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth. Penguins trail 7-5, but the tying run is at first. Go-ahead run at the plate. And Lucas will take it low, so a 4-pitch walk. You can't beat that. Loads the bases up. With 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth for Katie Smallcombe. Smallcombe today 0 for 2. Try to see if she can do some damage here against Susan Knight. Knight's pitch to Smallcombe inside for a ball. So Cleveland State staff's going to come out and have a chat with Knight. As we talked about today, Knight had only had 16 walks coming in to the contest. Looked to be more of a power pitcher, but today has 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. So he's kind of struggled a little bit. A pair of wild pitches and maybe a pass ball mixed in there. Of course, she had to work with a new catcher now, with Nicholas taking over for McNew, as well as 4 second basemen in 5 innings. Makes things a little tricky. Plus, if you're trying to call a game and you've never seen a team before, that's a little tricky too. Still can't tell who's out in right for Cleveland State. Try to get a number on that for you. It looks like number 14. So designated player Broshak is now in right field for Cleveland State. The pitch from Knight after the mound visit called strike 1. A 1-1 is the count now to the Penguins shortstop. Katie Smallcombe stepping in. Here, big opportunity for Katie. 1-1 pitch upstairs. 2-1. So walk's as good as a hit in this case. Just to get a run in, get the deficit down to 1 run, but it'd be nice to see Katie slap a base hit somewhere through the infield. 2-1 pitch from Knight to Smallcombe. Just misses on inside, so 3-1. So Smallcombe in the driver's seat. See what she decides to do here. Walked 9 times on the campaign. Takes a 3-1 offering. Knight puts it right down Main Street, strike 2. So full count now. 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth. Penguins trail 7-5. Katie Smallcombe at bat. 3-2 pitch from Knight. Shot right in front of the plate. Knight's going to go home. Heady play by the Cleveland State pitcher, knowing the force out was in front of her. So for now, she's been able to keep the Penguins off the board this inning, despite 2 singles and a walk. So Lackatina, who singled and scored back in the second and then hit into a double play to end the inning back in the third, steps in here. Penguins need a clutch hit from their catcher. First offering from Knight. Strike 1 to Lackatina. Lackatina took a foul ball off the wrist and foot last half inning. So see if that affects this at bat. Doesn't look like it. Looks like she's in much better shape now than she was about 4 or 5 minutes ago. Steps in, calls timeout. Base is full of Gwens. They trail 7-5, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Pitch from Knight. Goes upstairs, ball 1. Lackatina came into today's game batting .254 on the season. Has 3 home runs, so is a power threat. Pitch inside from Knight. Now Lackatina ahead in the count 2-1. See if we can get Lackatina to turn on one here. Wind has calmed just a little bit, but is gusting at times. So 3-1 on the riser, out of the zone. So big pitch here for Knight. Doesn't want to walk a run in. And doesn't want Dowd to come up, who lurks in the on-deck circle for the Gwens. Knight's 3-1 pitch. Lackatina swinging, drives it up to center field. 1 run is in. Coming around third and scoring is Hannah Lucas. So Maria Lackatina, 2-out RBI base hit. Ties us at 7. So 2-run single by Lackatina. Now the Gwens have knotted it up. That's 7 apiece here in the bottom of the 5th. You still have runners at first and third. Sarah Dowd steps in. Dowd is 2 for 3 today. A single, a home run, and reached on an error. So quick discussion. Vikings do have a base open, but been playing with fire all afternoon, despite giving up 7 runs. As the Gwens look to grab the lead here in the bottom of the 5th. A wild one here at the YSU softball complex to start this doubleheader. Knight fires. First pitch swinging into right, and line shot right at the new right fielder, Broshak. So Dowd, kind of a half check swing, lines out to right to end the inning. But the Penguins claw back in this one. They score 2 runs on a 2-out RBI base hit by Maria Lackatina through 5 here at the YSU softball complex. It's Youngstown State 7, Cleveland State 7. Occasional sunsplash day here at the YSU softball complex. Got a good one here in game 1 of this twin bill. You can see there 7-7 as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Be the top of the order for Cleveland State. as they now find themselves tied after scoring 6 straight. Fell behind 5-1, then went on top 7-5. And YSU answered back with a pair in the bottom of the 5th, and we're knotted at 7 here in the top of the 6th inning. First pitch, ball 1 to Nina Doran from Caitlin Minnie. Minnie fires outside, ball 2. Minnie's pitch to Doran outside. Gwens have done this earlier today. At one point, Doran saw 7 straight balls. Now she's up in the count 3-0. She led off the game with a home run. Since then, they've been a little more than a little careful as she takes a strike there, making sure not to give Doran anything to hit. Chopper to third. Castiglione up with it. She'll fire over to Thompson Cappadocio. And Nina Doran is retired on the ground out to lead off the 6th. So for the first time today, Cleveland State's leadoff runner does not reach. So good sign for Caitlin Minnie. As Susan Knight steps in, the Vikings pitcher, trying to help herself out. A little slow ball there. Change up from Minnie. Low for ball 1. Knight singled and scored back in the 3rd. Also grounded out in the 1st and the 4th. Pitch from Minnie in the dirt. Low, ball 2. Two-0 pitch from Minnie. Fouled back to the screen. And this pitcher versus pitcher confrontation. Minnie's pitch. Chopper to the 3rd. Castiglione knocks it down nicely. Semi-high throw, but Thompson Cappadocio keeps her foot on the bag. And Knight is retired for the 2nd time on a ground out to 3rd base. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Brings up shortstop Cynthia Woodard. See what YSU elects to do against Woodard. 2 doubles and a home run today for Woodard. She's got 11 doubles and 15 home runs on the season. Impressive numbers for the Vikings shortstop. Minnie's first pitch outside, ball 1. Minnie delivers. Gets a called strike on the corner there, evens it up at 1-1. So big batter for Minnie. Either Hazlitt or her have been able to solve Woodard today. Minnie's 1-1 pitch changeup out in front of it. And a fly ball to center. Anna Lucas is under it. And for the first time today, Cleveland State is retired in order. So Gwens get up quick here in the bottom of the 6th as they have tied it up here 7-7 against Cleveland State. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Youngstown State. Moffitt, Castiglione, Mikovic due up for the Gwens in a 7-7 tie here on a on-again, off-again sunny day in the Mahoning Valley. Good to see the sun, though. Everybody needs a little vitamin D now and then. And there's been few and far between here, but hopefully spring is just around the corner. Final week of spring football next week for the Youngstown State Penguins football team. Looking forward to getting to that. But a little softball today as Brittany Moffitt takes the first pitch low from Susan Knight, ball one. Moffitt's 1 for 3 today, base hit, grounded out, and reached on a fielder's choice. So pitch from Knight inside, and Moffitt quickly ahead 2-0. Delivery from Knight. Outside, ball 3. Knight's gone the distance. Hasn't been pretty at times, but gutted one out for the Vikings this year as Nichols, or today, as Nicholas goes out and chats with her. Came into today 8-5 with a 2.53 ERA. And if I'm not mistaken, I think all 6 of the 7 runs today have been earned against her. The 3-0 pitch to Moffitt gets a called strike. Moffitt was headed up to first, a little low, but now 3-1 is the count. So Moffitt trying to influence the decision of the home plate umpire. But she's back in the box now facing a 3-1 pitch. Just misses high. So a leadoff walk for Brittany Moffitt in a 7-7 tie. So 5th time today in 6 innings that the Gwens have had their leadoff runner on. And Knight, who battled and tried to gut one out, is now going to be relieved. As more changes are on the docket for Cleveland State here in the bottom of the 6th as Alex Radjan steps on for Cleveland State. 3.32 ERA, 6-4 1-loss record. This will be her 19th appearance on the season. 71 2/3 inning pitched. She's allowed 74 hits, 34 earned runs, 17 walks, 72 strikeouts. So definitely a punch-out pitcher for Cleveland State. We said this is game 1 of a doubleheader today here at the YSU softball complex. We've got Alexa and Shelby taking you through game 2. I'm your game 1 pilot. Trying to see if we can get the Penguins a win here and improve to 5-4 in Horizon League play. So Rajan is on now as Castiglione steps in with Moffitt down at first base. The go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 6th. So another catcher as Emma Nichols comes out of the game and Erica McNew is back behind the plate. For Cleveland State. Rajan in the circle, ready to go. And here's our first offering today. Called strike. So big battle here. Penguins big bopper, Miranda Castiglione up. Go ahead run at first base. Here, nobody out. Bottom of the 6th. Castiglione pops a bunt foul. Tried to find some space in between the pitcher and first baseman, but popped it up and foul. Down in the count 0-2. So Castiglione probably swinging away the remainder of this at bat. 0-2 pitch up at her eyes. She takes it for a ball. So outside, she's going to pull it around in front of the center fielder, does Castiglione. So drove the outside pitch back in the left center field. So Penguins with something brewing here in the sixth, 2 on, nobody out in a tie ball game. So Castiglione did not go with that. It was an outside pitch, definitely on the outer half of the plate. Decided to pull it and get the base hit as it landed safely in left center field. Pitch from Rajan, and Mikovic going to lay down a bunt. Nice bunt by Mikovic. And Doran's going to throw over to third, but the job is done. Good sack by Mikovic to advance the go-ahead runner over to third with just 1 out. So Hazlitt steps in. Big opportunity for her here. She started the game on the mound, got pulled in the fourth. It's 0 for 3 at the plate with 2 strikeouts. So first pitch swinging, fouls that one straight back. So Hazlitt was spotted a 5-1 lead after the second. Gave up a 3-run home run in the third and was removed in the top of the fourth. The pitch upstairs, and Hazlitt swings through that for strike 2. So the Vikings need a punch out, and they have their strikeout pitcher on the mound, and Alex Rajan has it down to the count 0-2. She swings at that, misses, dropped by the catcher who will throw her to first and retire Hazlitt. So Hazlitt strikes out for the third time today. That was the worst situation of those at-bats, though, with runners at second, third. So that'll leave it up to Thompson Cappadocio, who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles and a walk. So Thompson Cappadocio in. Go-ahead run at third with 2 outs now. Upstairs, ball 1. Thompson Cappadocio, just a freshman for the Penguins. 1-0 pitch from Rajan. Catches the corner, strike 1. Pitch to KTC, swung on and missed, strike 2. So Rajan came on in relief, gave up a base hit, a sac bunt, and now after striking out Hazlitt is 1 strike from working out of a jam. Thompson Cappadocio swings through that on the high pitch from Rajan. And Rajan strikes out back-to-back Gwens here in the bottom of the 6th. Keep YSU off the board. So we head to the 7th. Tied at 7, Penguins and Vikings. On to the 7th. Youngstown State tied with Cleveland State 7-7 here at the YSU softball complex. Erica McNew steps in for Cleveland State. 1 for 2 on the afternoon. She takes the first pitch from Caitlin Minnie outside, ball 1. Pitch from Minnie to McNew outside, 2-0. So Gwen's had a golden opportunity there in the 6th. Runners at second, third, and 1 out. But back-to-back strikeouts by Cleveland State relief pitcher Alex Rajan thwarted the threat. So 2-1 there. Minnie gets the strike to McNew. Just misses outside, 3-1. So Minnie did a good job last inning retiring the Vikings in order and has retired 5 straight up to this point, her longest of the day, and that pitch will go inside. So McNew with a leadoff walk here in the 7th. McNew leads the Vikings with 4 stolen bases as their catcher. So Brashik steps in. See what the Vikes decide to do. She squares the bunt. Bunts it right back to the pitcher. Minnie decided to go to first. May have had a play at second, but the sack will be executed by Broshak to get McNew to first. Or get to McNew from first to second. McNew kind of had to hold up on a little pop-up, but Minnie had her mind made up that she was going to first. If she would have looked at second, I think she would have had a shot to get McNew. So nonetheless, Vikings with a runner in scoring position in this 7-7 tie as Caitlin Phillips steps in. Phillips with a pair of walks and a base hit today. Minnie's first pitch called strike. Count even up now at 1-1. Swung on down the left field line, foul. Look out, Nick Popio in that vicinity. So Nick looks like he's okay, but that was right at him. Nice of the director to give him a heads up. Pitch, little nubber foul by Phillips. So Minnie trying to keep the Penguins tied in this one to get us to the bottom of the 7th. 1-2 delivery. Down low, gets away from Lacatena, and McNew's able to scoot up to third. So now with just one out, the go-ahead run is down at third base. And a 2-2 count on Caitlin Phillips. Minnie's pitch got away. Here's Minnie's 2-2 delivery. Fouled off to the left side by Phillips. Infield comes in now with the potential go-ahead run at third. Minnie's pitch outside, bobbled by Lacatena, but doesn't get very far away. And McNew's got a hold at third, but full count to the hitter. Phillips has drawn 2 walks already today. Good eye at the plate. Came in this season just 6 walks. Struck out 12 times. Full count offering coming from Caitlin Minnie. Freshman wheels and deals. Going to be outside, ball 4. So Vikes will have runners at first and third. As Mackenzie Jakin steps in. See if Cleveland State tries to run a play. They tried to do it earlier, but Smokeham just ran the runner back to first. But this time in a tie game in the 7th, the stakes are a little higher. Swung on and missed by Jakin. Lacatena goes out and checks with Minnie. I think they got their signals crossed up a little bit there. I don't think Lacatena was expecting the pitch she got. Jakin had a good cut on it. So Lacatena goes out. Just a sophomore has a chat with a freshman pitcher. here in a 7-7 game. Runners at first and third for Cleveland State, just one out. Rise ball out of the zone by Minnie. Pitch by Minnie, fly ball to right, always an adventure, it's drifting back. Mikovic looks at it, it's gone. So just carried over the fence in front of the scoreboard, a 3-run bomb by Mackenzie Jakin, her 5th of the season. And just like that, Cleveland State is now on top, 10-7. So Jakin got it up in that wind, and it just kept pushing it out and pushing it out. It actually had kind of died the previous 2 innings. Now if you look at the stars and stripes in center, it's blowing right out to right, and that's exactly where Jakin hit that ball. And it went just over the fence in front of the scoreboard as Mikovic looked up and watched it go over the fence for a 3-run bomb. So Penguins find themselves behind 10-7 here in the top of the 7th. Mini pitch grounded to Castiglione at third. She'll throw over to Thompson Cappadocio for the 2nd out of the inning. And stepping in now is Viking first baseman Hannah Yo. Yo 0 for 2 today. Minnie's first pitch swung on by Yo. She grounds over to Castiglione, who flips it to Thompson Cappadocio to get the Gwens out of the inning. But the big blow by Mackenzie Jakin gives Cleveland State a 10-7 advantage as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Penguins needing 3 runs to keep game 1 alive. Do or die time for the Gwens here in the bottom of the 7th as they trail Cleveland State 10-7. Been a good back and forth contest if you like offense. Cleveland State homered in the first. YSU answered with 5 in the next 2 innings. They go up 5-1. Cleveland State with the next 6. They go on top 7-5. YSU tied it up with a pair in the bottom of the 5th. Cleveland State using the long ball again in the 7th. Take a 10-7 advantage as Hannah Lucas leads off the bottom of the 7th inning for the Gwens. 7, 8, and 9 in the batting order for YSU, so the bottom third is going to have to get it done here. Lucas takes a pitch called strike 1. 1-1 now to Lucas. Pitch from Rajan upstairs, 2-1. Penguins had runners at second and third, 1 out. In the bottom of the 6th, were not able to score a run. And then Mackenzie Jakin with a big 3-run blast in the top of the 7th. Put the Vikes on top 10-7. Lucas takes the 2-1 pitch called strike. I don't think Lucas agreed with that. 2-2 to the slap hitter. So count now even. Rajan's pitch to Lucas popped up to the catcher. And McNew will squeeze the mitt for the first out of the 7th inning. So Katie Smallcombe steps in. Smallcombe today 0 for 3. Reached on a pair of